Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CoDZ. I am Flammenwerfer, also known as Sean. That is my real name. And I got two lovely gentlemen here. How would you guys introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Grill or Grillith or Grillium. I'm not going to give my real name because I don't trust the internet. Now, I enjoy making electronic music. I own my own business, and I love playing zombies.
What an interesting combination.
Oh, I think that's my cue. All right. My name is InfestLithium, but you can call me Danny. I like bacon. I like zombies. I like going out into the wilderness and doing naughty things. And
Oh, nice.
yeah,
I like that too.
Have you met any bears on your travels?
define bears.
Flavin, what about you? Tell us a couple fun facts.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, I'm a Canadian, even though I sound like I should be an American, according to Victor Lucas. I don't think anybody knows who he is. But anyways, I also enjoy going into the woods and doing naughty things.
Oh, we can team up someday.
My favorite map is Derice, as you guys should probably know by now.
Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't know it either, so
Really?
Really?
I don't even know.
So should we talk about maybe a little about the purpose of this
Yeah.
podcast here?
Sure. Well, the CoDZ is basically here to just talk about the recent going-ons in CODS, the forum, of course, and to really just get our insights about these things and to just display it to the world.
Yes, and have fun while doing it.
Of course. I wouldn't
Yes.
have it any other way.
So first on our agenda is current CODS events and kind of things that have just been going on in the CODS universe. Our first topic. I feel like I'm on a game show almost.
Our first topic.
Our first topic is lovely. We're going to talk about the asylum for a
Oh,
moment.
the asylum.
It's been something we've been gunning for a while. If anyone has been in a member lounge, we've been kind of campaigning a bit to have it locked to an extent for mod approval. And recently we had a little coup with Star Wars Bob where he actually informed us that that's totally doable and he's going to implement it into the future. Now, why would this be so important?
It's just really important because the asylum has been a part of CODs. Like, it's been kind of I would say the worshiping statue of CODs. Every type of a thread that you can find that has a lot of information in it, a lot of facts, a lot of research, things that made CODs into such I want to say almost an institution
Sure.
for zombies. That's what it basically is. And back before the crash, that's what the asylum was filled with. You would see maybe 5 or 6 of the same posters, but usually it was filled with pages of information that took about several months and maybe even weeks to come up with.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I understood it was kind of like a big thing, kind of a big deal to get your thread in there.
Well, it was a big deal to get it, like, really noticed by people. Like, it was...
Sure.
You spend a whole bunch of time researching these things. You find these clues that lead you to other things and other connections, and in the end, when everything's all bundled up in a nice big baby of awesome thread, it just feels nice, and you get people commenting, you got people, really thinking about what you said, and that's like just the biggest thing that you can do for the asylum. Like, it was a place known for these amazing threads. Like Alpha Snake had some pretty boss threads, and there's just nowadays it's just anyone can
One
post there.
sentence. It seems like it's only one sentence, one paragraph.
Yes.
Uh,
And like the people will admit that they just took like 5 minutes to just think it up, or that it was rushed and things like that. And and the other thing is just people go into it to just ask questions.
But you know why? It's because they know that the asylum is very well known, and they want to find a way to contribute into the community. And they know that, hey, if I post in the asylum, this is a place where people will really think about it. So it's not just your typical general zombies forum discussion, you know? It's more. You'll see people like Mixmaster Nut or Panaz, or we even have some new members like Oren Blitz, and even Grilliam.
Caddyman as well has been providing a lot of information lately too.
Oh yeah.
I think that it's just important to have kind of a brain trust. And at the moment, after the website crash, I feel like when you said the crash, it almost felt like you're talking about the 2008 market crash. After the CODZ website crash, it kind of just went downhill because there's no way to tell. I'm not saying that brains is really the key to everything, but there was no real hierarchy. And as a result, it kind of seems like there's been a dropping off of those who were the hierarchy to an extent, those who had been here for a long time and could provide some very vital knowledge. And, you know, it's not to say that there aren't bad threads in the asylum, but there's just too many that aren't focused on thinking and bringing forth new information. It's just like asking questions to the unknown.
There's been threads that just tell something, but they don't give any real background or proof or anything that they've really researched. It's just a theory, like just a weak theory. Like I remember reading this one thread, and I apologize if you're listening to this, but I mean, there's this one thread, and the guy said, like he blatantly said that he was so sure what the next map is going to be, and it's going to be Maxis's and Richtofen's laboratory. And I don't think he knew that the laboratory was in Darice, was it not?
It pretty much was.
Exactly, and it's just, if you don't even know where it all started, was already a map, and it's just...
Let's just say if you don't have a strong grasp of the general backstory.
Which is something you need in the asylum. Like, honestly, you should have to write an entrance exam to get your thread in the asylum. You know, get like an SAT score of like 106. I don't know what SATs are, sorry, though, because I'm in Canada's, but sounds smart.
That's not smart over here. It's actually 2400 max over here.
Well, then you need to get 25 to post in the asylum.
Okay, we're just going to hire, you know, only the smartest people on the planet to write zombie threads.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how we do it here at CODZ. But, well, it seems like it is an important issue in that, I mean, I don't really see any harm in locking it. And I think it could only make things better.
Agreed, because the locking is, you know, it's not made to discourage people. It's just made to restore the status of what the asylum used to be. If you, like, you know, you said, and Sean said, if you want to get into the asylum, you're going to have to put a lot of effort into this thing. And if you're not willing to put the effort that was done by our predecessors, then you really don't have a place in the asylum right now. But you can work up to it.
Totally.
It's just another sad thing to point out, though, is that a lot of our predecessors that did make great threads in the past aren't here anymore, and they don't constantly update with, you know, new findings that they found, like as an inspiration, I guess, or someone to look up to.
I like to think they're lurking.
Well, of course they're lurking. Like, I mean, Alpha Snake clearly lurks a lot. He posts from occasion, but mostly in the off-topic forum, mainly about like Carl Sagan, and I love Carl Sagan, by the way. I just feel like we don't have enough role models anymore, too, and we just really have to step up our game.
Yeah, everyone's got to step up their game.
Yeah.
Like
you're new to the forum. I understand. Most of us should understand. But, you know, just lurk more. Just
more.
lurk.
And post more.
Well, post.
No, I'm saying for the
Just in general?
For the Legend members. I want to see them more.
Oh, yeah,
I want them to lurk more, and I want them to post more, too.
Well, that too, yeah. Like, just, check up on us. Are we doing good?
My dog is playing with a cat toy.
That's one smart dog you got there.
I know, right? So, on a similar issue, basically, of change and expanding CODs, Grill really wants to get the COD's YouTube into motion. We've got almost 900 subscribers, and the last video that we have on there is basically a PowerPoint presentation on how you can pre-order and get Nuketown Zombies. Now, if that doesn't put some sort of, importance on the issue, I don't know what does.
I think it's because I want to say that it's part of the game's fault for not being able to post up. But when you think about it, there are people posting a billion things on YouTube about every single thing Black Ops 2. Like, I hate to, kind of point this in the direction I want to, but take, for example, NGT Zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they post up literally everything about zombies. And if we were to take a similar approach, but not, assume that...
Not straight copy it.
Yeah, like don't take things that we know aren't or think are not relevant, then... Because we want to establish a good status, we want people to come and be like, okay, yeah, whatever COD says is generally correct.
Yeah. They're one of the major players, they're not just like... It's just, we have such a big base as it is right now, and it's just surprising that, we can't use it more. And actually, I'm just going to say it right now, is the thing that's holding us back is an intro. We are literally, we can't decide on an introduction, and there's been a custom one that was made over a year ago by Choppernator, and I think it's pretty good. It has very Black Ops feel. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah, I saw it.
The typewriter good. One?
Yes.
I think I commented on that.
Yeah.
I hope you commented on it. You did that.
You better have. What were you saying, Infest, about it?
Oh no, I was just saying that it was pretty good. It matched up like you said with the Black Ops, but now it's time to make a new one for Black Ops 2. Something maybe even if it's similar, but a little more intricate. And I understand that people are looking for instance, who was it that was looking for somebody to do it? Was it Faded Titan to make intros?
Yeah, Faded Titan, who hopefully we'll be able to get on the show here, plan some time with him, has been trying to revive the YouTube as well, and in general trying to make a YouTube series, which we're hoping to work into this eventually. But he's offered some YouTube intros. I've offered several intros. Flammenwerfer has offered some intros, and anyone who's listening to this right now should hit up the site news section and go to the YouTube intro section, check it out, and tell us what you think, because it's super important to get this up as soon as possible.
Exactly. We want to be a major superpower again in the zombies world. We want users left and right and center, coming to us saying like, "Holy cow, you guys are the best! I can't believe Flammenwerfer posts on here." Stuff like that. We want the user base great again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We'd also have to get people contributing to the YouTube, because it can't be one person uploading a video on when they feel like it. It would have to be people who are willing to say, hey, I'd like to submit this to the COD's YouTube, and if whoever manages the YouTube, say Chopper, decides, hey, this is some good quality, he can put it up on the YouTube, and that'll really help traffic and activity, and it'll get people engaged and wanting to actually pay attention to the media center as well.
Yeah, like the media center, like no one really goes to it.
It's a ghost town.
It is such a ghost town. I remember that user Jaybird used to post almost every day, but I think he just stopped because no one really looks in it. And who was it that had like the video of the month?
Oh, right.
Way to go.
Was that way?
I think it was
Yeah, Way's the one that set it up.
And he stopped it because no one was submitting anymore.
Yeah, well, that's just another problem. Like, just sucks.
But keep in mind, it's kind of difficult because, not all of us have a recording software that'll let us do that. Like, I have this little USB chip that looks like I can use it as a toothpick. It's not very effective whatsoever.
Yeah, the theater mode is a joke. I've tried uploading to the Black Ops 2 Elite, whatever you want to call it, website, and I can't get anything up there. It's just, I don't get it. I mean, that's why I had to get a capture device.
I think the theater mode is only good for when you just want to upload a good game you got, or something like that, where you can just go back and recap and then record it, because you don't want to be wasting space on a potentially bad game,
Yeah.
That's what I use the theater mode for. And any of you potential recorders, help.
Yes, help.
A big
help. We're sinking. We need you. Send us your clips. Send us anything, because we're hoping, this is a podcast right now and it's audio only, but we're hoping to expand this and have gameplay, and that could be from any of you members. So it would be fantastic to get any kind of submission.
Even you, Electric Jesus.
Yes, even you, EJ.
Okay.
So let's move on to some important topics that we've been.
Oh boy.
That we've all been looking at.
Now, I think the first one we're going to mention is really interesting. In Dire Eyes, or Great Leap Forward, whatever you want to call it. There's a sign that is in Chinese, and when translated, it apparently says International Zombie Center.
Well, it's been pretty much confirmed. It's in a thread in the Dire Eyes story section called Chinese Class About the Signs or Mahjong in Dire Eyes by Dragon GJY.
And I think he's a new member, or she.
They're a new member.
They are a new member.
They know they are Chinese, and they've been trying to find out what's in the map that basically they can help with. And our boy Pinaz has been furious with the posts on there, and he's been having a great rapport back and forth, and they've basically established that it is indeed International Zombie Center. Hell, even MMX said, what did he say? Because if MMX says it, it's true.
He said that the sweatshop, which is the building that most people say is the Dragon building, and then the hotel, they both actually have the same sign. So it's a possibility that the whole map, Great Leap Forward, is actually the zombie center or area. So everything was around. And he even put up the idea that whoever was here, whoever these conspiracy people were, or researchers, they made parts of the Slukifier. They had ordered some perk machines, and he claims that there's some boxes. I had to look into that myself. Jumping jacks had to come from something. And he's like, where's all this SDC people coming around? And, that part right there just caught me on. I was like, what are, a strike defense squads doing in there?
Right.
Anyway?
Totally.
And I think it's a pretty interesting topic. It's covered both in his zombie trilogy thread in the General Zombies forum. So if you guys want to see that too, whoever's listening, but it's a really interesting read up, and it'll open your mind to possibilities that maybe now we know why Shanghai was selected, or China really.
Yeah. It almost sounds like some sort of international zombie labs, from the marketing or commercial campaign in the first Black Ops. We saw the Call of Duty Zombie Labs, which was, supposedly in the United States. I don't know if either of you can fully confirm that.
I don't know. Are those canon?
Yeah, I would say so. That's the wave. Well, it's a tough debate.
I don't know. I don't know if it's considered canon or not.
We should save that question and get some senior members on here and ask them that.
Listeners, if you can clarify to me, Flammenwerfer, is the Zombie Labs canon? that is a brain buster for me, and I just can't make heads or tails of it.
Yeah.
But I would form it is, but yeah, continue.
Oh no, I was just saying that it seems like, you know, if it was an international zombie center, I mean, honestly, when I first heard that, I thought someone was joking with me, to be perfectly honest. And when I try and think about it, it sounds like a testing facility or like almost like a museum, you know.
But it's everything looks kind of, you know, just too regular to be a zombie kind of facility. It's nothing like the CoDZ labs that we've seen so much in Black Ops, you know.
Now,
it doesn't look the same.
Now, we also have to remember to take this with a grain of salt, really. This could just be a standard Easter egg that, you know, we see it, we translate, we're like, oh, that's funny. Like, it could mean nothing at all. There's a lot of things in zombies where a lot of us are quick to just assume that it is super story-related, just because it's there. Like, I know it's heavy on Easter eggs and stuff like that. Like, that's how we determine the backstory and stuff. But, you know, again, we also have to remember that sometimes they're just simple Easter eggs.
I think it's important.
In Die Rise, we didn't really fully uncover anything, you know? It wasn't anything like, per se, Green Run, where we found out about the Hanford site and came to the assumption that, according to the timeline, we assumed that it was all vacant and the government used it as a testing facility. And that's why everything seems retro 1960s, and in reality, we're in a different time zone. So that was the backstory for Green Run, and when you move the Great Leap Forward, what do you have? You know, the crew teleports there, and you just complete an, you know, Easter egg or side quest, and that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like there.
I know, I just mean, like, in, like, real-world terms, like, what would the purpose be, and would it be culturally acceptable to have a building that's dedicated to the zombies?
It probably would, because zombies is still going on before then. If we take into account that it's around 2025-ish, because that's when this SDC was formed, then ever since the 1940, since Noct was out, I'm not sure what time zone that was, but it's been going on for at least, you know, 40 plus years.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's just, if this really was happening around the world for 40 plus years, why in 2011 would they start just randomly making a movie when there's obviously much more important issues like zombies? Just like with every other map, we have more questions than what we started with.
Yeah. It's like Lost all over again.
I never watched Lost. Some people say that's a good thing.
Well, regardless, it's a very interesting topic. I think I'm going to be following that for as long as it keeps going, man. I'm really interested to see what the legendary members and what the senior members kind of deem as the real canon behind such a distinct name. It's very interesting. But let's talk a little bit about Jimmy Zielinski's most recent tweet.
Oh, I have it. Okay, so it's by Buskus Bros. He made a thread that says, "Sounds like paradise." Sounds like a song. Anyways,
it does sound like a song.
I'm just going to be saying what he said. Quote unquote, I just saw Jimmy Zielinski's tweet about life on Mars sounding like a paradise. CNN wrote, life on Mars was once possible, says NASA, from CNN Light Years, and then URL. Then someone else posted something else, then Jimmy posted, sounds like paradise. So, really, what he's saying is that, bam, right there, Shangri-La is meant to be a paradise, but recent discussion has proved that Shangri-La could be on Mars. This just proves that Shangri-La is on Mars.
Well, also, let me just go ahead and say that the word paradise in some cultures, ancient and current, is directly associated with Shangri-La. Literally, the two words are interchangeable.
Oh, definitely, and But in that one achievement for completing the Easter egg in
Oh yeah.
Call of the Dead, it says send the crew to paradise.
Send the crew to paradise.
I didn't know Mars was a paradise, so it wouldn't. I don't know. I haven't been to Mars. I can't tell you for a fact if I was offered a nice luxurious stay at the local hotel, or they had a what was it, a Connecticut breakfast?
Yeah, you just
Connecticut breakfast.
You just go there and you look around and you just there's dirt everywhere.
Bread rolls.
What is this?
You're having food for today.
I mean, it's perfectly possible for paradise to exist in a place that isn't paradise, as long as it has some sort of protective bubble around it. I don't know, actually.
Bubble.
Now, was it Tack that made that big threat?
Oh, it was Tack indeed.
Yeah.
It was definitely him.
And on the loading screen, you can see the Shangri-La temple being sucked into some sort of vortex, and on the moon loading screen, you can see it floating in space. So it's perfectly possible that it was once on Earth, and then it got transported into space, and then crashes or lands or somewhere on Mars.
But you know what's funny? I remember reading a post by MMX, and he was saying how the zombies are actually just nothing but Asians. And that kind of, now when I think about it, it's like, well, if the Shangri-La originated on Mars, that would not make sense. But like you said, it could have went from Earth to Mars. But what in that process made that whole entire thing go right up into a different planet?
Including the ground and the waterfall and stuff like that?
Okay, what if, okay, now stay with me here, I just thought of this. What if, when our boy here, Gersh, got sucked into the device, that somehow created a dimensional rift by Shangri-La and sucked it through and then sent it into space?
But when, you mean by the Casimir mechanism?
Yes.
You know what? I don't remember what thread it was. It's in the asylum right now, but someone had mentioned, I know it was Bagel. He mentioned that what if, like you said, the Casimir mechanism created like a rift, but he specified it more towards the ether. Now you're saying that this, rift could actually just be a big tear through space itself, and it could have altered so many things. Maybe, certain places got misplaced or transported. It's very possible.
Like, we know that solid objects can pass through just fine. And what am I saying? Okay. I just mean, like, when we've used the Gersh device before, it sucks in things that aren't considered living. We know, like, on Moon when we send the plates, or on Ascension when we sent the generator, or whatever that was, via the Gersh device. And to an extent, you can say that zombies aren't quite living themselves either. They're just mindless husks of bodies that aren't no longer living.
Like walking shells?
Exactly. But the thing is, why can our characters pass through it just fine? And why can the monkeys pass through just fine?
The monkeys can pass through the Gersh devices? I didn't know that.
I'm fairly sure they do.
Like they just go through it and it doesn't.
They do in Ascension.
Yeah, like they just hop into it and then they just teleport themselves. Because they don't give any damns about anything. They're monkeys.
Yeah,
they'll throw grenades back at you. They'll destroy your perks. Nobody cares. They're monkeys. But anyways,
Faded Titan just signed online.
Well, he can wait.
Sorry.
Evil. You're evil.
Anyways, that's just... Yeah. I don't know. I think that it has something to do with the teleportation that really gets me. Like, teleportation has been a major theme since, I guess you can say Derice, or to an extent Shangri-La, or not Shangri-La, Shinonuma, because they teleported from Shinonuma to Derice. So that could have been something.
You think it might have to do with just for some reason, Notice how we only are able to use the Gersh when we are the original crew in the maps in Black Ops. Now, going by this, is it possible that something about the crew themselves is allowing them to pass through? Maybe it's what they've been experimented on. Perhaps it's because zombies, like you said, they're nothing but shells, and a shell can easily just collapse, and that's it.
It could be because you know how Gersh was sucked into it and then trapped in the ether.
Yeah, so he wasn't obliterated.
No, he was. But again, another sudden realization here. Element 115 could have some sort of effect on this. Our heroes here, they've been exposed to the 115 for quite some time now, so that could have granted them some sort of immunity when they pass through.
I thought they were also injected with a 115 or something to make them superhumans, and thus they are superhumans right now.
I know MMX is going to have a field day with what you just said.
Super soldiers.
Super soldiers.
But sparked like a fire. I'm burying myself in there. But you know what? That's fine. I love
it's cool. It's called the post-production, my friend.
And it's also could also explain why the monkeys can pass through it just fine as well, because they're also heavily exposed to the element 115 while also still being considered alive.
Do you think maybe being infected by 115 is a whole lot different than being, I guess, not really exposed to it, but actually have it injected in you? Like, there's a big difference between infection and some kind of stimulant.
Well, is the 115 radiated? That's an important question.
When it's radiated, things that are in radiation, a state of radiation, they tend to be more, I want to say, volatile and
poisonous. Well, yeah, I was just saying that, when it's unradiated, actually, I believe it has healing properties, which is why the Vrilya used it in its unradiated state, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering in terms of your question if it was, because it would do different things, obviously.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're gonna get so hit hard with all these things.
Don't kill us.
We're getting sidetracked. It's the art of conversation.
Hey, it's still kind of pointed on that, but yeah, in the relation to that, I can see what you mean, because it all ties back into how did Shangri-La end up on Mars if it was on Earth, and all this explanation that it could have just been teleported there because we messed with the Kashmir device or whatever, and then we kind of went off into how that teleportation happens and why aren't we faced by it, or human characters really, or really those that are not technically full-fledged zombies. So I could see what you mean about that, but I think it's just interesting in general that one of our maps just maybe 100% on Mars. That is just
right. Cool. Things are not as they seem. I think it's just. I wish they'd just tell us, honestly. Anyways, Jimmy would be like, yes, this is what we mean. You had it right.
What if I told you we weren't recording?
We weren't recording this whole time?
We were. I'm just saying, what if...
I would stab you repeatedly with a fork. Or no, a fork.
No, he'd be relieved. You could fight off a lot of conflict from your claims.
Okay. And I guess just one last thing that I want to bring up as a topic. These Atlantis theories.
Oh, I love these.
If you know me, you know how I just can't see this happening. It just seems a little too far-fetched, especially what we've had so far in Black Ops 2. I mean, first of all, how would it connect to the story? Like, was Group 935 suddenly there? Which is wondering, how did they get there? I mean, they got to the moon, that was pretty intense, but to get to Atlantis, and what would they do with Atlantis is the thing.
It's a quote. It's because a lot of people are picking out Stuhlinger's quotes from, I don't know if he mentions it in Die Rise, but I know for certain that in Transit, he makes maybe a couple quotes about Atlantis, and it seems like an ideal place because it's an ancient civilization. Shangri-La, even though the zombies were technically of Asian descent, there still could be some ancient civilization partaking to that. So that's why a lot of people also like to conclude about Atlantis. Ancient civilization, lost forever under the sea, who says it's not still there, and you can actually, walk in it. And
also, I mean, there's been a lot of shifting in terms of the sea and in terms of, continental plates and whatnot. And it's very possible that Atlantis, we could maybe encounter a dried Atlantis or something like that. I would be very open to that. I just think that the dynamics of having an underwater level, I mean, yeah, we had the moon, you had the masks to breathe on the moon, but that was because Griffin Station was there. Essentially, the only idea or the only way that a water map can work if there was another station. And I feel like that would be a little too derivative, and that 3-arc wouldn't really jump for that.
Just another thing, the main reason people are thinking this are Stuhlinger's quotes. Am I right in thinking that?
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, there's been countless references to Atlantis. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's not just Stuhlinger.
I don't. It's Stuhlinger though, is the thing. I mean, he's a conspiracy theorist. He's crazy. Like the things he could be saying could just be things he's talking out of his ass about,
But he's a really vital aspect to the story, and we now know that. So it's kind of, a little bit harder on us as researchers to predict whether what he says is valid or not. But you have to keep in mind that he may know something that we don't. And I know there's even a quote that says that he knows what's going on and that he'll tell us if it was I just know in transit he makes a quote saying, "I'll tell you what's really going on."
Well, what I'm just saying, I mean, am I opposed to an Atlantis map? No. I think that would be really sweet. Fighting zombie sharks, that would be so kick-ass. I'm just saying this right now.
Zombie sharks.
How about little goldfish that attack you like bullets?
I think if anything, it'd probably be some sort of Nova 6 crawler that was had webs, more webbed feet than they do already. And
just a fish.
Wings and just like a fish version of the Nova crawler.
It's just I just can't see it happening, I guess, is my thing. Is it just seems like too outlandish of an idea, and
No. Come on, man. We've been to Shangri-La. That's so outlandish. That's
We've been to the moon.
That's a mystical. Yeah, but Shangri-La is a mythical place, and we've been there.
The moon?
Well, the moon too, yeah, but I mean in terms of outlandish concepts, Shangri-La, I think, is just as outlandish as Atlantis.
Wasn't Shangri-La created by the group 935?
It's actually a real place.
I know it's a real place, but is this that place, is what I'm thinking. Because the temple
What do you mean this?
Well,
Shangri-La?
This area that this is the map Shangri-La, the area that we're in, is that actually Shangri-La, or is that just a name for it?
I think that's the actual Shangri-La.
Yeah.
It just, with the Richtofen shrine and stuff, it's clear that the group 935 was there to just create it.
Well, didn't we also find the gongs with the little Russian writings around it?
No, it's not Russian.
It's not?
No, it's what is the deciphering code that Treyarch gave to us? It was Illuminati code. If you get the Illuminati writing, it just talks about the dragon's fire. It just says that over and over again. I remember I deciphered it myself.
Yeah.
And
I guess just as a closing note, do I want to see an Atlantis map? Yes, that would be crazy awesome. Speedboats, guns.
What about Optech?
Zombies, dead.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you're thinking of Atlantis. Sorry to make your closing statement a longer statement, but I feel like you're thinking of Atlantis in too much of a conventional sense. It could be a code name for an actual research facility like Autech that InfestLithium is talking about. What does it stand for again?
It stands for Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center. It's basically the underwater Area 51 for the U.S. Navy.
That's super viable to me.
I just want some information about next DLC, but
Yeah,
I'll cut it.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
right?
I'll just end what I'm saying right here, and let's just continue with everything. So,
That's fine.
right now would be the part where we would do questions by followers. But as
We have a question for each other.
This is mainly just for you guys, you listeners, to send us questions. We'll have a thread. You can PM them to me or these two buttheads.
Whoa.
Or you can post it in the thread if you want.
That's what I meant.
If you're well, you can PM it if it's like super controversial.
Yeah.
If you really want to,
I can't really think of anything.
Message on MySpace if you want to go that far.
Message him on MySpace.
Send me your friend request and I'll remove.
Me up on the MySpace, guys.
Yeah, we would love to just get your guys' input, get your questions. We'll answer them to the best of our abilities. And other than that, yeah, well, we'll give you shout-outs and stuff, like, hey,
you,
hey man, like
for the question.
Thanks for that question. Okay, you gotta cut this out. This is just
no, this is good. This is good. But I can guarantee, though, that in the future these will get more succinct. This is obviously the first one, and we're still kind of finding our footing in this. But we really just want to interact with CODs in more of a census than just text. We want this to be more, and that's what we're hoping for. So they're not going to be this long and drawn out in the future, we promise.
Unless you want them to be long and drawn out.
Right. I mean,
I like it long.
Want that? We'll give it to you tenfold.
All right,
a little more likely.
Some upcoming stuff. Infest will get a better mic.
Oh yeah, iPods don't count as mics, guys. Just a reminder: if you try to do a YouTube video like this, you're more than likely gonna have people like, I don't know. If you try to record, if you ever recorded with an iPod, even if it was video, somebody's bound to say 240p. We meet again.
So he's gonna get a better mic. We're gonna hopefully start syncing this up with some video of either us gameplaying, or if you guys can submit some stuff to us, we're gonna have gameplay, strategy, challenges.
Like, you have some super awesome gameplay of you getting 50 headshots with one shot from an awesome sniper rifle. Send it to us, because that sounds great.
That sounds great to me. That sounds great.
That's a whole record right there.
That would be like, you send that to us, we will make you famous.
Oh, guaranteed.
And by we, I mean I will steal your video and make it my own.
and actually, how are we going to do that? Oh, because we've got guest hosts.
We get RichyBabess next week. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, RichyBabess is a YouTuber who is great. He has good strategies. He knows a lot of the story. He's not from CODS, I don't believe, but I messaged him. He's up for this. We'll talk with him. We'll get a whole bunch of good stuff going on. I'll probably be gushing the whole time because I can't believe it's RichyBabess. And other than that, yeah, I think that's great.
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship. We'll get more guest hosts in the future, hopefully. But until then, yeah, second episode we'll have the great RichyBabess.
All right.
InfestLithium.
And InfestLithium.
And the great InfestLithium.
I should change my username to that. The great InfestLithium. Or like lithium wrong. Like LEETHYUM.
Lithium!
Yeah. It would sound just like that. Every time you say lithium, everybody's going to be looking at it like lithium.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, well, that was a great post. It was about lithium.
It's just post by derps.
Post by derps. Okay, well, anything else you guys like to mention or talk about?
Nope.
Everybody's got to be looking out for a little special thing that Way to Go and myself are making right now, and we have another project. Sean over here and I are planning something, Just can't tell you guys because it's top secret.
Ooh.
But I guarantee you guys, it's going to be a lot of fun once we get it out there. So look forward to that. Stick around, please. We're lonely.
Yes.
Please.
Please.
I am Flammenwerfer, and these were InfestLithium and Grill. And until next time, stay calm, kill zombies.